This was a burned out building.
Okay.
And there was a woman named Frances Norwood who was working in the cafeteria at PS9 about 17 years ago, started climbing over the fence, and she cleared out. She started clearing, and then other people started to come help, like Catherine and Joseph and all these other people, and it slowly became a garden. And then we got saved. Giuliani tried to sell us. We got saved, and now we're a Trust for Public Land garden. We were on the chopping block.
Right.
This was supposed to be a condominium right now.
You get invested in here, and it's how do you invest yourself personally and emotionally in a public space?
Right.
So it's completely different than the way you think when you're like in New York, like, oh gee, I got to get my apartment, or gee, I got to get my coffee, or gee, I got to get my. It's a completely different way of thinking. Okay. Garden's a verb, man. It's like, it's not something you have, it's something you do, and there's all this kind of version of like, oh, I'd like to have a garden, but you're going to miss the point with that. It's not about ownership, it's about participation.
Are you guys taking leaves?
Oh yeah,
yes,
absolutely.
Absolutely, and welcome.
Where should I put it?
Bring it on back, or yeah,
anywhere you want,
absolutely.
pretty much.
Okay.
So we see in action someone has a leaf donation.
Yeah, right. And we're collecting leaves this year because the city has stopped collecting leaves and composting them. So all the leaves that get thrown out now go to a landfill, which, and everybody's kind of like, oh, you don't want to put it in the landfill because you fill up the landfills. But landfills are horror shows, man. So when this organic material breaks down in a landfill, it creates methane, right?
Right.
Which is a unsung but major contributor to global warming. Because methane, it won't last as long in the atmosphere like carbon. It'll break down after maybe 10 years. But it's got about 15 times more like heat reflective properties.
Right.
So when you're throwing your leaves into the landfill, they're breaking down anaerobically, they're creating all this. When you drive by a landfill that's closed and they got all those pipes coming out, they're just spewing methane.
This is a community herb bed. Everyone is welcome to take herbs within reason.
Oh, okay. So
we have parsley, we have basil, we have tarragon, we have thyme, we have rosemary, we have verbena, we have scallions, we have lavender, we have saffron. We are growing saffron for people. We have salvias, which is sage.
We've made about 13 cubic yards of finished material far this year, and we're on pace to make 15, which was our goal, because 15 you'll get an inch over all of our growing areas. So the fact that the city and whatever you want to call him, Emperor Bloomberg, and this green stuff, it's like, this is the easiest thing they can do, is collect leaves and divert stuff from going to a landfill. I mean, it's the easiest downhill slide. I would encourage you to call 311 and say that you would like to have municipal leaf collection reinstated. And with this Million Tree Initiative, they're going to plant 200,000 new street trees. You're just making the problem 200,000 trees worse. You know what I mean? So it's like, I don't think that right now in the conversation there's this discussion about like what's going on with the stuff, where's it going. So Jessica Katz over at a garden called 615, 6th Avenue, 15th Street, started this thing last year when the city stopped doing it, and she got a ton and a half of leaves from as far away as Marine Park. Now there's a garden in Queens that's got 5 tons already.
With all these leaves that are being collected, is there something that could be done with them that could be profitable? Because if some organization, some corporation could emerge.
Yeah. When you go and you buy compost at the Home Depot, essentially that's what it is. We got piles of what was once garbage, and it's good, fertile soil.